The film picks up immediately at the end of the last one, where police arrive at the burning Domas mansion and find Grace sitting outside the steps having a cigarette. She starts to have a panic attack and passes out, leading to the medics taking her to the hospital. Grace wakes up handcuffed to her bed and is met by Detective Bassett, who questions her about the fire and the fact that they found the bodies of Daniel and Becky amidst the remains of the house, and they know the blood on her wedding dress wasn't hers. Grace is then met by her emergency contact, her estranged sister, Faith Macaulay, who hasn't spoken to Grace in 7 years. She explains everything to Faith about what happened with the Domases and how she survived the night and saw the spirit of Mr. Lebea. Faith seems shaken by Grace's trauma, but doesn't believe the cult stuff. The ailing Chester Danforth learns about the Domas family's demises and Grace's survival. He sends a text to other families that were part of the same cult council that the Domases were formerly in charge of. They include Ignacio El Caido, Juan Chen Xing, brothers Madhu and Viraj Raja, and Bill Wilkinson. Chester's twin children, Ursula and Titus, are summoned, but they are displeased to know that the seat of power is up for grabs when they think it should go directly to them. Chester is insistent that these are the rules. Ursula and Titus respond by smothering Chester to death with a pillow and then gathering the other families together. Bassett is taking Grace into custody for questioning until Bill emerges and throws a knife into his neck, killing him. Grace and Faith make a run for it, with Grace taking Bassett's gun off his corpse. Bill attacks and tries to kill Grace himself to claim his new power, but he explodes into bloody chunks, which shocks Faith. The other goons show up and gas the sisters to knock them out, while pointing out that Bill trying to kill Grace before the game has begun is against the rules, and he effectively doomed the rest of his bloodline to a premature demise. The heads of the families arrive at the Danforth Lodge and Casino. Ignacio brings his children, Felipe and Francesca, the latter who was previously engaged to Alex and therefore has it out for Grace personally. Chen Xing brings her freeloading son, Cheng Fu. Madhu and Viraj arrive with Madhu's wife, Martina. They gather with the captive sisters and are joined by a man known only as the Lawyer. He explains to Grace and Faith that since Grace survived the previous game against the Domases, the seat of power to rule over the council is now at stake. She has to hide until dawn from all the families hunting her, and someone has to wear the council's ring by then, or the consequences will be deadly. Grace initially refuses until they threaten to kill Faith in front of her. The sisters are knocked out again and taken to a golf course where they are given a head start. Ursula and Titus cheat to give themselves an advantage. Viraj, Ignacio, and Chen Xing lead for their families, while the others watch from back at the lodge through security cameras. Ignacio tries to shoot them with a sniper rifle but misses and nearly blows up Viraj when the sisters trick him into shooting a propane tank, but he survives while Grace gets debris in her skin. The twins try to shoot the sisters, but they run through the woods to escape their sight. Grace and Faith run into a building where Viraj follows them. They find a bandsaw and cut their handcuffs free, but Viraj hears the noise. They get the drop on him and throw him into an industrial washing machine. Grace hits the sanitize switch and effectively boils Viraj alive until he stops screaming. Madhu watches in horror as he realizes he has to go up next. He avoids it by giving up his position as head of the family to Martina, who calls him out for his behavior, but she signs the contract anyway. In the casino, Grace and Faith try to hide while also picking out the debris from Grace's body. The sisters start to talk again, opening up about how Faith felt abandoned by Grace when she moved away without her. They are found by Chen Xing, who offers them a way out through a loophole. If Grace agrees to marry Cheng Fu, the Wands will rise to power, and Grace can live without actually being with him. Grace refuses because she doesn't want to be part of a cult. Ignacio finds them and tries to shoot the sisters, but Grace takes Chen Xing's hand, holding a sword, and runs it through Ignacio's throat. Since the rules prohibit the competing families from killing each other, even accidentally, the Wands' entire bloodline is doomed, and Chen Xing explodes. Everyone back at the lodge waits for Cheng Fu to be next, and he soon explodes as well. Grace and Faith try to call for help, but are intercepted by Ursula and Titus. They tell the sisters to go to the front gates, but the sisters realize they are being tricked. When Faith threatens Titus with the sword, Ursula says she doesn't care. A brief distraction allows the twins to regain control until Martina suddenly drives toward them. It looks like she is going to run Grace over, but instead crashes through the front gates and escapes. This gives Grace and Faith a chance to run, even though Grace had given Faith the option to leave on her own. Grace gets ambushed by Francesca, while Faith is attacked by Titus. Grace and Francesca spray each other in the face, temporarily blinding each other, but Grace manages to knock Francesca out with a keyboard. Ursula stops Titus from killing Faith and uses her as bait to lure Grace. They tell Grace where to find them, and she arms herself with a rifle and ammunition. Francesca tries to attack again, but Grace shoots and kills her. Grace follows Faith's voice and confronts Ursula and Titus. When they close in on her, Grace locks herself in a room until Titus holds a gun to Faith's head in front of her. At the last moment, Grace offers to marry Titus so he can claim power and let them live. Titus accepts. The sisters are cleaned up and prepared for the wedding. Ursula quietly warns Grace that Titus is dangerous and fears what he might do with power. Titus overhears and kills Ursula, saying there is no rule against killing family members. The remaining members gather for the wedding, with the lawyer officiating. After Grace and Titus are married, he forcefully kisses her and takes the ring to claim his power. Grace suddenly grabs a nearby dagger and stabs Titus, using his own words about there being no rule against killing family. Faith then kicks Titus into a pit of bodies. Grace takes the ring and becomes the new head, but immediately rejects the role. She throws the ring into the pit, leading the remaining members to jump in and fight each other to claim it. As dawn arrives, time runs out, and one by one they begin to explode in a massive chain reaction. Madhu is left behind because he didn't jump in, and he believes he is safe, until he also explodes moments later. The force behind the game briefly appears and acknowledges Grace and Faith before disappearing. Grace and Faith leave the property together, taking a goat with them that was meant for sacrifice. As they walk away, they decide to fix their relationship and promise never to leave each other again.